Hey guys, thought I'd go to do a little homage to my father on Veterans Day. So, introduce you to Charles E. McCarthy Sr., Corporal, U.S. Army Air Corps at the time. He started out in the infantry actually, so I'll give you a little background. He was born on January 17th, 1924. Passed away July 3rd, 2003. His World War II record consists of the following. He was inducted on April 16th, 1943. He attained the rank of corporal in the U.S. Army. He started out in the 84th Infantry, 333rd Regiment, Company M. They were known as rail splitters. You can see the split rail on his elbow, shoulder patch there. So that's what that is. He departed for Europe on September 20th, 1944, and arrived there on October 1st. So that was quite a trip across the North Atlantic, I'm sure. He fought in the following three campaigns. The Ardennes Alsace, which was December 16th, 1944 to January 1st, 1945. He was in the Rhineland from 15th September 1944 to March 21st, 1945, and the Central Europe campaign from March 22nd, 1945 to May 11th, 1945. He was wounded at Sugarau, Germany on November 21st, which is the day before my birthday. 1944, he was wounded from a German 88 artillery shell, got shrapnel. Usually, from what I've read, if you were around when one of those shells went off from a German 88, there weren't many survivors, so you got pretty lucky. You got the following medals. He's got a combat infantry badge. He's got a Purple Heart. Got a Bronze Star. Got a World War II Victory Medal. Good Conduct Medal. American Campaign Medal. And a European, African, Middle Eastern Campaign Medal. After he got wounded, he couldn't march anymore. He was no longer good for the infantry because he got I think he said he got shrapnel in his ankle. It almost took his foot off, I guess he said, but he didn't lose his foot, but it was that bad that he wasn't going back to marching. So they stuck him in the motor pool on the British air base where the Americans were flying out of, and one of those Americans flying out of there happened to be Jimmy Stewart, the actor. And my dad got to know him. My dad flew with him. I guess they had to do something in the milk run one day, which meant that they weren't going out bombing anything. They may have been going out photographing, or who knows. But he asked my dad if he wanted to go, and the old man said, "Sure, why not?" So he got to fly with Jimmy Stewart, the actor. My dad always talked highly of him. Said he was a hell of a guy, regular guy, treated everybody like regular people, and really had good things to say about him. So I thought that was pretty cool. And at the end of the war, he left for the USA on May 28th, 1945, and he arrived on June 8th. Another fun ride across the Atlantic. Upon entering the U.S., he was allowed to collect his pay. And that pay was for 2 years, 7 months, and 11 days of serving his country. His pay came out to $300, and he was allowed $16.30 for travel expenses. I'm pretty sure that was the train to get home from where he was let go from. So But yeah, that's pretty proud of this guy. So I figured while I'm here, I think I'd show you the medals and try to explain, tell you what they were. So bear with me. All right, turn this off. There, much better. All right. I hope you can see them. I'll start up here. This one here. That's the Combat Infantry Badge. That Combat Infantry Badge was presented to an infantryman enlisted soldier for participation in combat. A recipient had to have been personally present and come under hostile fire in an assigned infantry that was actively engaged in ground combat with the enemy. Civil War soldiers called it seeing the elephant. And I'm sure people that have been in combat, you guys know what it's like. I could never even dream what it was like. Thank God I never had to, but I'm sure it wasn't fun. Next to that, right here, that's the Bronze Star. The reason he's got a Bronze Star is because in 1947, a guideline was put into action that gave the award of the Bronze Star Medal to those that had been awarded a Combat Infantry Badge or the Combat Medical Badge during World War II. So if you were a medic or you had a Combat Infantry Badge, you were allowed to get a Bronze Star, and that's why he has that. The one next to that, I think that's the American. No, I'm sorry. This one down here. This one here is the American Campaign Medal. That was awarded to service members for service between 7 December 1941 and March 2nd, 1946. Next to that, the Purple Heart. That was created during the Revolutionary War by General George Washington, given to anybody wounded in combat, or wounded in service, I believe. Next to that is the European, African, Middle Eastern Campaign Medal with 3 Bronze Stars. The Bronze Stars are for each campaign. And then the one next to that is the Good Conduct Medal. That was given for, good conduct. Well, and then we got this one up here is the World War II Victory Medal. All military personnel received the medal for service between 7 December 1941 and December 31st, 1946. So, and those are the original ribbons that went with the medals. These are not the original medals. He doesn't know what he did with them, so I got him new ones. We made sure we got them all replaced. We have the original ribbons. We don't have the original. These are all, I don't know if you want to call them, I'd call them replacements, because they all came from the service. So, except for I believe the Combat Infantry Badge is original. But and we found his original Purple Heart at my mother's house cleaning. We're in the process of cleaning and selling my mom's house, and we found a couple of the originals. That's his original Purple Heart, and I think that's the original Good Conduct Medal. But, yep, because there they are on their wedding day, my mother and father, my mother's mother and father with them. So we got a picture here of him. I believe he said this is when he came home from boot camp. He had either a 15 or 30-day leave before he shipped out, and that's him and his best friend, Joe Ronan. Joe was in the Navy, and they graduated high school together. And they knew each other from growing up, and they remained friends until both of them passed away. So that's that. And then I got one more picture I'd like to show you. the light back on. Whoop. There we go. After he came home from the service, he bought this. This is a 1929 Henderson motorcycle. If that bike was still around, you're looking at about $100,000 for that bike. But he got rid of it. It was a four-head flats, a flathead four-cylinder. Had reverse, had a reverse gear on it. It was a suicide stick. Foot clutch. He had a foot clutch and shift, and a belt drive. But he said it would do 70 miles an hour all day long. He goes, it was just an awesome bike. I wish we still had it. He had a 1947 Harley too, which gone. What are you gonna do? Life happens, and you gotta do what you gotta do. So there he is. So figured on Veterans Day it was a good day to do this. I miss this guy. I really miss him. So, you got a veteran. Got a veteran in your family. Learn a little bit what they did. Talk to them. See if they'll tell you what they did, and what they saw, and where they were. Because that stuff's important. It doesn't matter what war it was. Vietnam, Korea. Not too many World War II guys. Hundreds died of them every day. But talk to them. I think it's good to be passed on, so that people know. Peace out.